Hello and welcome to Property Update with me, Russell Quirk. And guess what? House prices are up. Yes, you heard me right. According to the Nationwide Building Society, over the last couple of days, they say that in October, house prices actually rose by 0.9%. Who knew? And in fact, on an annual basis, house prices are down just a whisker, minus 3.3%, which is a drop. Yes, for sure, it is. However, when you think about what the naysayers, the doom-mongers have been saying over the last 12 months or so, that we were going to see a housing market crash and that we were going to see property prices drop by as much as 35%, well, clearly nothing like that has happened. And in fact, this week we'll also see numbers from the Halifax. So let's see if they are similarly positive, because I think if they are, then I think once and for all now, as things start to recover economically, I think we can safely say that that housing market crash is not a prospect at all. Now, that said, the latest data from the Bank of England, where mortgage approvals are concerned, shows that actually transactions are, however, suffering. So the amount of people that are actually applying for a mortgage and having a mortgage accepted is down to about 43,000 a month, which is about 75% of normal levels. So it certainly does seem that despite the fact that house prices are being somewhat resilient, there are still a number of buyers that are still sitting on the sidelines waiting for perhaps better economic news before they actually make a decision to purchase a home. Now, let's turn to the rental market. At a recent conference, the National Landlord Investor Show, a poll was taken of the assembled hundreds of landlords, and they were asked very clearly if they intend to sell either one or more of their properties. Why were they asked that? Well, simply because in recent months, of course, the media and indeed social media has been awash with stories that landlords are exiting the sector because they feel rather hard-pressed, really, in terms of government policy in recent months and years. Now, that show of hands insofar as are you going to sell right now, was only met with about a 5% response. And in fact, when those landlords were also asked if they might actually be buying instead of selling, more landlords put their hands up as buyers than they did as sellers. So it does rather seem that the prophecies of the private rental sector, the landlord sector, kind of not being in good shape, those stories seem to be rather overdone and exaggerated. In fact, I think you could argue that being a landlord is still a good place to be. And in breaking news, we are being invaded by the French. Yep, that's right. Not since 1066 have these shores been invaded by our cross-channel cousins. But it does seem that there's a certain French giant of an estate agent named IAD that has its eyes on the British prize where the estate agency sector is concerned. IAD now launching across Britain with plans apparently to very quickly have 100 self-employed agents. However, they have promised not to be quite as aggressive as they were in 1066. They actually are going to pride themselves on good service and getting the best money for their clients' homes, apparently. So it looks like they're going to be, somewhat better behaved than perhaps the invasion of 1066. So good luck to IAD on their launch in the UK in the next few weeks or so. And finally, if you've been looking for a side gig, perhaps something that you can do from home, have a look at this listing here. This is for sale in San Jose, California by Keller Williams at just $1.5 million. It is a property that comes with 6 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms and a swimming pool and your very own meth lab. Yep, you heard that right, a meth lab included. So this is a property that presumably has been impounded by the authorities and is now being sold, but with the old redundant meth lab still intact. Wow, okay, so obviously we're not condoning the fact that it's something that you could use as an extracurricular activity, but Keller Williams do say here that you'll be on a high as the new owner if you were to buy it. So good luck with that. Okay, that's Property Update for this week. Thank you. Until next time.